Hey guys, it's Dana. Welcome into the video. Listen, I'm a busy guy. Brewing used to be my first priority, but like everyone else, sooner or later, life starts to creep in and really screws up my priorities. For me, my actual brewing process hasn't really been sacrificed by my busy travel schedule as an airline pilot, but one thing undoubtedly has: carbonation. All the time I come home from work and realize that tonight we're having guests, and though I have about 6 kegs of handcrafted ale sitting around, not a one of them is carbonated. Typically, this is the result. Enter the Blichmann QuickCarb, a little device that's supposed to change all of that. Let's take our first spin. Hey everybody, welcome back to the brewery and welcome to this unboxing and review of the Blichmann QuickCarb. The folks at Great Fermentations were kind enough to send this little unit over to me recently and asked me to give my thoughts. I've purposefully done no research on the product other than the fact that I read the initial emails from Blichmann about it. It seemed very interesting to me. I feel like it would be pretty useful in my brewing setup. So let's see. Let's give it a shot. So here we go. This is the initial FedEx box. I got it directly from Blichmann. Haven't touched it. So let's see what's in the box. Alright, look at that. Some very nice packaging from Blichmann. Really nice, actually. That's gorgeous. That's probably the best packaging I've seen them ever put out. Let's hope the product lives up to the packaging. So here we have the QuickCarb carbonator. Says we have beer that can be ready to drink in under an hour. Quiet, dependable operation. Works with all styles of beer. Will never overcarbonate. Includes a 10 micron gas diffusion stone and stainless steel fitting, 6-volt DC self-priming pump. And on the back gives a description of the product and a picture. Again, very nice packaging from Blichmann on this one. Let's take a look. Set this aside, and looks like we have a very nice storage case here for the QuickCarb. Let's see what else we got. Alright, so first glance, looks like we have a nice little pump here, the stainless steel bracket to hang on the side of the keg. Very clean, looks to be. Got some fittings, more fittings, and the electrical power plug for the pump. Your lines, those nice Blichmann quick disconnects on. Some instructions. These are the quick instructions with a what appears to be a carbonation chart on the back, and what appears to be the expanded instructions, operation and maintenance guide for the product. And again, it must be pretty simple. The instructions are quite short compared to some of the other products that Blichmann has put out. So there it is. We'll go ahead and get rolling on this and try to carbonate a keg and see how she does. Alright, now I've got everything roughly laid out the way Blichmann wants this device assembled. So first step here is to go ahead and put this thing together. So here we have the main T-fitting that's got your carbonation stone in it. There is a warning in the instructions, and I would go ahead and echo that warning. You don't want to touch that stone at all with your hands. The oil from your fingerprints can block the pores in that stone and make it become less effective. So that's warning number one. But let's go ahead and put this thing together. So here's your first line, and I'm just going to roughly assemble this thing. This is your first line, and this is your CO2 line that's going to come from the keg into the stone. Okay? So you put that in there. And this is your saturation line, as they refer to it, and that is your line that's going to actually push CO2 into your beer through the stone. Okay? And of course there is your ball lock end that goes on this end of the hose, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this off. I've gone ahead and read ahead in the instructions, and you want to leave these off to sanitize the entire apparatus, so we're going to leave that off for now. This guy sits right in that little bracket, nice like that, and this hose here, they've got these really nice little thumb screws, so that'll go on there on that side of the pump, and you just go ahead and tighten it down. And then another Blichmann Quick Connect. Screw that on there. And then it sits nicely in that bracket like such. So already you can see this is coming together. It's a nice clean little device here. Very well thought out from what I can see so far. Okay, so on the top end we have your return to this is the beer line. This is where your beer is going to come from, out of the keg, through the pump, down through the pump, CO2 coming through here, through the stone, back into the keg, through your gas ball lock. So I'm going to go ahead and install this right here, and again tighten it down. Alright, now that we got this thing put together, next step would be to sanitize it. So I've assembled a small bucket of sanitizer, and I'm going to go ahead and throw our included ball lock fittings in there to begin sanitizing them. And we'll go ahead and take our pump with all the lines and bring it over to the bucket. And we will be beginning sanitizing it. So again, this is the first run. I've never turned it on. For all I know, this pump may not even turn on, so you're all finding this out at the same time I am. The instructions have told me that you put all three ends of the hoses into the bucket like such, and then you go ahead and turn your pump on. And there is no switch for the pump, just go ahead and plug it in. So let's see. Initial thoughts: the pump is very quiet. Pull them out and then put them back in. Let's see how we do here. Looks like I didn't tighten this fitting up on the pump down here good enough. A little leakage to start, but just went ahead and tightened that. Looks like that's stopped. And it looks like it's working out some air and beginning to circulate sanitizer throughout the system. And I'm told via the instructions that to push sanitizer through the stone you need to kink the saturation hose, which is this hose coming off this fitting. Go ahead and kink that. That should work some sanitizer through there. So we're going to go ahead and let this run for a couple minutes and go ahead and sanitize the whole system, and then we'll move on to carbonating a keg. Okay, so back to the sanitation process. I've kind of figured out what's going on here. So let me just break this down to you, how this works. It took me a few minutes of playing with it to figure it out, but I think I got a pretty good handle on it. Here we have the in line from your sanitizer, right? This hose coming off the top, which would be your beer in line in the actual operation of the device. And this is your saturation hose, as they call it, a larger hose that's going to be connected to your ball lock, your gray ball lock, and this is your CO2 line hose. Obviously, this is a larger hose, so your main flow, when all these are all unobstructed, is going to want to go through this. So as you can see, this CO2 hose, we're really not getting a lot of drip out of it, right? But out of the saturation hose, we have a nice flow of sanitizer running through there. So what you want to do, just go ahead and kink your saturation hose, your bigger one, and what do we have there? A nice flow through there. So that way you're pushing sanitizer through both sides and all through this beer stone. I found that this is how this works here. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully I explained that correctly. But again, sanitizer in, sanitizer out. Your main flow is coming through here. So if you want to push it through the smaller hose, kink it, and that'll push sanitizer through the small hose. When you let it go, it'll push through the big hose, and that way you have a nice fully sanitized apparatus here. So we've been running it here for about 5 minutes. I'm sure that's plenty enough on the sanitizer, so we'll go ahead and expel that sanitizer per the manual, and that'll be the next step. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and expel the sanitizer out of the system. So first, I'm told what you have to do is remove all of the hoses from the bucket and let the pump go ahead and push it all out. And it is, hopefully that's coming up in the video, pushing all the sanitizer out. We have a nice sanitized system here. And there it all goes. And the manual says to go ahead and kink this saturation hose momentarily to push the sanitizer out of the CO2 line, which it looks like it has already done. So, yeah, we're pushing it through the CO2 hose there. You can see it dripping. And we'll go ahead and let it push the last little bit of star sand out of these hoses. And it looks like we're pretty clean here. Okay, before we actually carbonate a keg, I wanted to get into this little carbonation chart that Blichmann included with the device, and super easy to use. Basically what you're looking at is this green band is where you want to be, depending on what you're brewing, right? For most beers, lagers, ales, ambers, just about anything you're going to brew on a regular basis, you're going to be safe carbonating it in this green band. For stouts and porters, obviously you want something that's a little less carbonated, so you're going to be looking in that gray band. And then you know, your high carbonated ales like your lambics, your wheat beers, etc., they're going to be in this this yellow band here. But for most, you can't really go wrong on this green band. So today I'm carbonating a really simple blonde ale, about as run-of-the-mill generic homebrew as you could possibly have. And so I've gone ahead and tossed a thermometer in my kegerator, and from the best I can tell, my beer is at about 46 degrees right now. It's about what I keep it when I'm at storage, when I'm not using it, when I'm not going to be serving it, save a little electricity. So 46 degrees is where my kegerator is at. Bring me right over to the middle green band, and I don't know how well you can make that out, but it's pretty self-explanatory. That says I need 2.38 volumes of CO2 in that beer, and I follow that up the chart, and I see that that's going to bring me to 14 psi on the regulator. And as per the manual, to overcome the pressure gradient of the beer stone, you want to add 1 to 2 psi. So I'm going to go ahead and run it at 16 psi, and we'll see how that turns out. But again, this chart's very easy to use. Just figure out the temperature of your beer, follow it over, get right in the middle of that green band, and follow the chart up to figure out your psi. and then just add 2 psi to your regulator when you run the machine. So that's what Blichmann says. We'll go ahead and try it per the manual for the first time and see how it goes. Well, all right, the moment we've all been waiting for here. I've gone ahead and assembled it per the manual. So what we have here is the pump hanging on the keg. As you remember, this is our CO2 line here. I'll go ahead and give that another little tighten there. Okay, that's in. And that runs up to our tank and our regulator. And then I've got the top line, which goes into your beer out here. And then your CO2, aka diffusion line here, or saturation line they're calling it, is still in the sanitizer, because what we have to do is purge the system of oxygen and get some good beer flowing. And we're going to use this here pint glass for that runoff. And then once we do that, we'll go ahead and attach the ball lock and let her go to work. So and pump on, and looky there, we have beer flowing through the pump, and slowly working that oxygen out. And there it is. We got a nice easy flow of beer coming through here. Fill the pint glass up, and there it is. Well, next step, the manual tells me, is to go ahead and take the gray ball lock and hook it up. So we will do that. Tighten that bad boy and attach it to the keg. There's that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the pump back on. And I can see some nice flow, and we'll turn the CO2 on. And wow, okay, a lot of initial impressions. Some really high flow coming off the bottle. Looking for leaks. It looks pretty good. A little bit of a leak here. Bubble action there. Go ahead and stop that. But yeah, everything looks to be running pretty good. CO2 flowing from this side, beer recirculating from the pump back in. Beer is obviously kind of foamed up on this end for obvious reasons. So we're going to go ahead, it's 2:24 in the afternoon right now. I'm going to go ahead and let this thing run for 40 minutes as per the manual, and then we'll go ahead and try a pint, see how it does. Alright, so we're about halfway through the process here. She's been running for about 20 minutes, and I got to tell you, I am just impressed at how clean and quiet this setup is. As you can tell from the background, I'm not sure what you can make out, but I am a pretty big fan of Blichmann products. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'd probably know that, but yeah, this is quite the setup. You know, it's pretty, yeah, for lack of a better word, it's pretty, and it just seems to work well. It's nice and quiet. It's recirculating here, and honestly, you wouldn't even know it was running if you didn't know. So here it is. There's the setup. It's very simple, very clean, and this is what it looks like in action. I'm not sure what you can make out on my regulator there, but I got it set at about 17 psi, and she's just trucking along. No leaks, no issues so far. So I'll go ahead and stop it in another 20 minutes, and we'll pull a pint, and we'll see how it does. I'm not sure if the beer is going to be agitated or foamy or anything like that. I'm not sure if it'll be drinkable or not right after carbonating. I guess that's one thing we will find out, and we will go ahead and see how it works. So back with you here in a second. Okay, well, we are right at 40 minutes now, so let's go ahead and see how we did. I'm going to go ahead and kill the gas and kill the pump. And you'll notice, I don't know if you can make it out, but here it was very, very, very turbulent, and you know, a a lot of foam coming through this end. Well, that's all cleared up now. So let's go ahead and see if we can pull ourselves a proper pint after 40 minutes of runtime. So I'm going to remove this. The keg should have some pressure in it. So let's see. I've got a sampling line here that we're going to connect, and I got some excess old beer in the line, so I'm just going to pour that out there. Get that out of the way. And let's see how we did. Initial impressions is it looks pretty darn good. Maybe a tad under where I'd like to be on the carbonation, but again, we're only at 40 minutes, so that's the product. Let's see, let's have a taste. Wow, fantastic, fantastic. I'm going to say that the carbonation level is about 85% there right at this time. But again, we've only run it for 40 minutes, and it says if you want to get it fully carbonated and the last little bit, run it for an hour. So I'm going to hook it up for another 20 minutes, so we should be right there. But looking pretty good at the 40-minute mark. We'll turn the camera back on here at the hour mark. All right, we're right at an hour right now, so we'll go ahead and give it another shot and see how it did. Go ahead and turn the pump off, turn the gas off. I'm going to remove my beer line and replace it with a sample line. I'll just go ahead and pour a pint. And look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, that looks to me like a perfectly carbonated beer. Only a taste test to go. Let's see how it did. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yep. Perfect carbonation levels. I would say this little device really works well. I am very, very impressed with it. Very simple to use, very quiet. Cleanup and tear down's pretty easy. I highly recommend it. I really do. Alright guys, I wanted to do a little bonus footage. I do work with some Senki kegs from time to time. I do 15-gallon batches on my Brew Easy. I'm doing one right now as we speak. So just pulled a batch of beer out of the fermenter, or the conical, and wanted to give it a shot carbonating it. I pulled it out. It was fermenting at 65 degrees, which just happened to be the top end of the chart. So I've set my regulator at 29 psi, and I have gone and rigged up a Senki keg coupler with fittings to match the beer fittings on the kit, and we're going to go ahead and give it a shot here. So I have no idea how this is going to work. I don't know if it will work, but I'm going to give it a shot. So, beer outlet on the top. Go ahead and pull my 9/16 wrench out. Tighten that guy up. And go ahead and set that in there. And following the same instructions as before with the ball lock kegs, I'm going to, there we go, put that in there. Try to purge some beer out of here, see if it works. And it would appear that it's going to work. So, There we go. Worked the oxygen out of there. Connect the fitting. Turn the gas on. Turn the pump on. And let's see if this works. Grab a wrench. Tighten up. And looky there. Your Blichmann QuickCarb can be easily adapted to carbonate a Senki keg. Fantastic. A little bonus footage. So thanks to Great Fermentations for sending this out to me to give it a shot. I'm currently brewing probably 4 or 5 full-size Senki kegs, as you can see over there, and I was not looking forward to carbonating all those manually, so this is going to come in great handy. I think it's a super useful tool. I think the price is right, and Blichmann really did a really nice job with this. One of the more well put together beer gadgets that I now have in the arsenal. So again, thanks to Great Fermentation for sending this out to me. They're awesome people over there in Indy. They have just about everything, and they have awesome customer service. You can reach out to my man Brian for just about anything, questions, comments, or need to get your hand on something, whatever you need over there in Great Fermentations, they will take care of you. So again, thanks for watching. 2 thumbs up from my end on this Blichmann QuickCarb. I think it's a great little gadget, and if you have any questions, go ahead and fill out down in the comments section. Thanks.